All right, what's next?
All right, this one is from Wallace Mcgovern. He says, so what the hell is going on with Gambit? I know they were trying to make it for years, but I thought it was pretty much dead. Now I'm reading that they might still make the movie and that Channing Tatum may be directing it himself. What? Since when is Tatum a director? How can they even still make it with the merger coming? What's happening? I'm so confused. John, what's happening?
Well, Wallace, you are basically saying what a lot of us say. Like, what the hell is going on? It was 4 years ago. 4 years ago. That Channing Tatum took to the stage at Comic-Con with the rest of the Fox X-Men universe people as he was playing Gambit. He was going to be Gambit, and nothing. What's really funny is we talked about this story the other week where X-Force, the creator of X-Force, Rob Liefeld, basically got on Twitter and confirmed for everybody the X-Force movie is dead. Within that story was also that Gambit was also dead, because the only way a Gambit movie could happen is if it went into production within the next 2 months. After the next 2 months, that's the cutoff point, because then the merger is basically going to be going through and you can't get any new projects off the ground. If they could get it off the ground, record it and shooting, then they're fine. They can finish it out. But, well, they're nowhere near that, so the Gambit movie's dead.
Right.
Well, then out of nowhere, Deadline comes out, and here, check this. This is specifically what Deadline had to write. He, talking about Channing Tatum, has been trying to get going the X-Men spinoff Gambit. He has long been slotted to play the charming card-throwing mutant, and buzz has been that he might direct the film after several other filmmakers have been in and out. But there is no start date at this point, and it's still being worked on. We'll tell you more when we hear it. So they have had a revolving door of directors coming in and out to possibly do Gambit. Now, Channing Tatum has worked with Soderbergh very closely a couple times. I think Channing was looking to direct something at one point. But as far as I know, Channing Tatum has never directed anything. And if this feels a little bit like desperation at this point, where it's like, we cannot get a director on board. The clock is ticking. I want this movie done. I want to be Gambit. Screw it. I'll direct it myself. Like, I don't know if that's the case here. Look, I don't believe that we're going to see this Gambit movie. I don't believe it. I would like to. I'm on board with seeing it, but I don't believe we're going to see it at this point. If they were to get around to doing it with Channing Tatum directing it, a guy who's never directed anything, I don't know. I'd be a little hesitant about that. What do you think, Robert?
Well, I think you just pointed out that he's worked a lot with Steven Soderbergh.
Yes.
And Soderbergh is his own director of photography and now lately his own editor.
Yeah.
And if there's any film school to go to for Channing Tatum, it has been his work with Soderbergh. He's seen Soderbergh do so much work. They'd worked together, I think, on Logan Lucky was the last time they worked
By
together.
the way, wonderful little film.
Oh, I loved
Logan Lucky.
I did too. And so you've got Soderbergh in his camp, to help him out. So, and look what we got with Bradley Cooper. He was an actor who directed A Star Is Born. I mean, I don't necessarily think that actors shouldn't direct. I mean, it especially when they have the kind of mentorship that I'm sure Channing Tatum could get from Soderbergh. But I just don't see a Gambit movie happening before the merger, unless there's something going on that we don't know, unless they want to do something really quick. Because Gambit is not one of these giant world-destroying apocalypse is not going to start leveling cities, I would imagine.
Right.
Like Bumblebee brought back the franchise down to earth. I
Probably
think
some more drama around the Thieves Guild or something like that.
And they shoot it Louisiana can play Louisiana, and if it's a smaller movie, I could see Logan. I could see Gambit being like Creed, a smaller film that's much more character based, that does something interesting with the mutants the same way the movie Logan did.
Yeah.
And if it's that way, maybe it's possible, but I just don't see it happening.
All right.
Before the